Hey guys, I had a guy come in for a private lesson last week, and I asked him how things were going at home, and he said, it's going pretty good, except when I stop giving the dog food, he doesn't do it. He stops paying attention. I lose all motivation, all interest. And this is, a problem people sometimes struggle with because they're in a hurry to get the dog off food. People really want to get the dog off food in a hurry. And that's one of the reasons why they end up in trouble. So let's break this down a little bit. Whenever we start teaching a dog something new, the first thing we want to create in the dog is an idea. We want him to start get the idea that two things are related. For example, if I say sit and you put your butt on the ground, there's going to be a food reward coming. Or if I move my hand in this way and you put your butt on the ground, there's going to be a food reward involved, right? We want him to start get the idea. Goes, isn't that interesting? Every time I do X, food shows up. And then he'll do the experiment. He'll practice a few times. He'll try different behaviors. Maybe he'll sit sometimes, maybe he won't sit, maybe he'll sit crooked, maybe he'll figure it out, and he'll go, you know what, I really think this is true. I really think that these two things are connected. And we hit that moment of belief, right? And we keep practicing while he's in that belief stage until we get to that expectation phase. And this is where things get interesting. If you walk into a room and you turn the light switch on and the light doesn't come on, if you were a rational being, you would get up and go to wherever you keep your light bulbs and change the light bulb. But we're not rational beings. As a general rule, when that happens, what we do is we flip that switch on and off several times, trying to make the light come on. Now, there's a fancy word for that. It's called an extinction burst. You don't need to know that, but I'm telling you that because it's universal enough that we have a fancy word for it. And what it basically means is when a behavior has been sufficiently reinforced, that's the key word, sufficiently, when a behavior has been sufficiently reinforced and you stop reinforcing it, the default behavior is going to be to get more into it and not less into it, or more committed and not less committed, right? So when we flip that switch and the light doesn't come on, we don't go, I guess it doesn't work. Somewhere in our brains, we go, this should work, this is supposed to work. And so we do it with more intensity, with more conviction, more commitment. And when that doesn't work, then we go back and we change our behavior, right? So once we get the dog expecting, now we start utilizing that extinction burst. We slow down the reward, and we make the dog get more committed. Now, if we slow down the rewards, we don't give them as often, and the dog gives up, what does that tell us? It tells us the behavior has not been sufficiently reinforced. We're not there yet. We're ahead of ourselves. So go back and reward until when we go sit and the dog sits and we go, let's go. You walk again, you go sit and the dog sits more intensely. That's when you know you got it, right? Once we get there, we start getting him into the hope mindset where he's hoping for the reward. He doesn't get disappointed in us if it doesn't happen. He goes, I gotta try harder. It makes him more motivated, not less motivated. He believes that if he does this long enough, if he does this intensely enough, he does this right, eventually he will win. He will get what he's looking for. This is my best path. This is my best bet. This is the most likely way I have to get the outcome I want. Once we're there, we practice, and eventually through reliable, repeatable responses, he gets faith, and then he believes in it. And once he gets faith, we practice, and it becomes a habit. And when we have a habit, we have a reliable behavior. So don't be in such a hurry to get the food away. Trust the process. You'll get there. Just take your time and build those steps.